we're going to make a histogram of this data. So these are the family home selling prices in 2007 in thousands of dollars. So histogram is a frequency distribution. And the question says it wants 5 intervals, 5 ranges. Okay, so first of all, let's type in this bin frequency interval. We're going to find out what the range values are. So we find the smallest value, that looks like that one, 339, and the highest value, 751. So we will make ranges of 100, starting at 300, right? So there's nothing lower than 300, so it makes sense to start from 3 to 400, 401 to 500, etc., until we have 5 of them, and the last value should be 800, right? Because there's nothing over 800. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 intervals, and every piece of data will fall into at least one of these intervals, into one and only one of these intervals. Okay, so let's do the good stuff. The bin is the last number of the interval, right? So the first bin is 400. So everything under 400 will be in bin 1. Everything in bin 2 will be between 401 and 500. Again, it's just the last number. So we do them all. So there's our bin. Here comes the good part. Click the frequency cell. Click it, hold it down, drag it all the way down to 1 past the last row. Okay? I'll do that again. Click, hold down the clicker, and drag it down to 1 row, the last row. So these all have to be highlighted at the same time. We're going to go to the frequency bar up here. Type in equal FREQ, and the frequency formula should pop up. Click that little f of x thing. Okay. First thing it's asking for is the data array. So here's your data. Highlight your data. Don't forget your comma. Comma. And then your bin array. There's your bins. Parentheses. Here comes the tough part. You got to hit Control Shift Enter at the same time. Control Shift Enter at the same time. Ta-da. So there's your frequencies. So highlight your frequency data, but not the 0. And then we're going to go to Insert way up here. And we're going to stick it in just a regular bar graph. I always start with the recommended. There's a bar graph. That'll do for us. Click that in there. There's our bar graph. Okay, but a bar graph is not a histogram. So let's turn this into a histogram. First thing we're going to do is change this x-axis values. Just click until you get the little square. Right click. You're going to select data. We want that x value to hold the intervals, right? We want them to hold the intervals. So we're going to click Edit. It's going to say, what values do you want for your x labels? And you're going to click these interval ranges. Click OK. So there's the ranges. Last thing you got to do is widen these bars. Just click 1, double click it. And then the gap width, we're just going to change the gap width to, something small, 9%, 10%. You can put them right next to each other, but I'd like to have a little bit of space so you can actually see what's going on between each of the bars. And let's click that. And let's change the title to histogram. And you are done in the sun. Histogram. So that's how you make a really nice looking histogram in Excel. That's it. MGZ out.